Yo, what's going on, guys? It is A-Rod Plays, and we are back at it again with another one. In this one, we have Odd Eye Soul Blaze Dragon. And yeah, it's not that impressive, but you know what? Let's talk about it. It's a level 8, it's a light dragon type, it's a synchro, it's also a tuner, and it's got an effect. Its effect, rather lackluster, but you know what? It is what it is. It is Odd Eye support, and Odd Eye support is rather sparse, so when they give it, we'll take it. The effect reads, if this card is special summoned, you can special summon one face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck. That could be your Wisdom Eyes, that can be your Magicians, that could be your Supreme cards, that can be your Zart cards. Regardless. Moving on. You cannot special summon monsters while you control... Oh, I misread it. You cannot special summon while you control that face-up monster except pendulum monsters. So decks that care about XZ, Synchro, Fusions, they're not going to like this card. They're not going to want to run this card. Albeit, this card is a generic Synchro, so you can put it in any deck. It doesn't need a specific type of monster to get it out. Outside of Perform Mage and Odd Eyes decks, it's way too limiting, stopping you from special summoning those Fusion Synchros, XZs, etc, etc, etc from your extra decks and from, say, even Rituals. It's too lackluster. So moving on, if this card is in your graveyard, you can banish 2 other Fusion Synchro, XZs, and or Pendulum monsters from your graveyard, special summon this card. Okay, so it has a little bit of recursion. Say it gets rid of itself, say it gets destroyed, you can bring it back. You banish a couple of things from your graveyard, cool. All of a sudden you have a Soul Blaze Dragon back, it's a level 8, it's a tuner, cool. You can put on a level 4 on it, you can get into Zart. Zart's not that impressive in today's metagame, but if you're playing with your friends and you want to make an Odd Eyes deck that's revolved around the Zart cards, Soul Blaze is for you. Moving on to that last line of text, you can only use one Odd Eyes Soul Blaze Dragon effect per turn, and only once that turn. It's got 2000 attack, 2500 defense. But with that being said, it's a hard once per turn. It's not like he can get himself destroyed, bring himself back, activate his effect again. No. This is a hard once per turn, which also limits the card again. This is not going to make Odd Eyes an incredible deck. It's not going to boost it up to tier 1, tier 2, blah 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 blah. No. It's a regular generic Synchro that's going to get you into level 12. It's going to bring itself back, and it's going to severely hinder decks that don't care about pendulums. And on top of that, it might even stop you from getting into your links. I mean, some people like to run the pendulum Exceed, or I forget what it's called. The pendulum, the link that gets you pendulums from your deck, any one that you so choose. Forgive me, I'm forgetting the name. I played the card way too often to be forgetting it like that. But moving on, it's really not that good of a card. Is it going to get you into Zart? Absolutely. At level 12s? Absolutely. Just by getting a level 4 out there, just by getting a level 3 out there, it's going to be a great extender. It's very easy to get out there. It's a level 8 dragon. So, yeah, I see play. Do I see a lot? No. Moving on, Blue Eye support. A lot of play. I guarantee you these cards are going to see a lot of play. Starting off, Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon. 2 tuners, plus 1 non-tuner Blue Eyes monster. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. But first, your opponents cannot banish cards from your graveyard, so there's a little bit of protection for your graveyard, just right off rip, right? Secondly, when a card effect is activated on the field, quick effect, you can negate the activation. And if you do, this card gains 1000 attack until the end of this turn. Now, that's reminiscent of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is negating effects as well, and gaining 1000 attack. However, it does not have the negative of until end of this turn. Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon does. But where it makes up for it is its third effect. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon one light dragon monster from your graveyard, except Blue Eye Spirit Ultimate Dragon. Why is that important? Well, it's recursion on a boss monster that protects your graveyard as well as gives you a one-time negate and a boost to its attack. It's got 3,500 attack and 4,000 defense. And if we count these levels, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12! Level 12! Is it that hard to get out? Not really. Blue Eyes is a level 8. You gotta remember that. In addition to Blue Eyes being a level 8, we have our tuners. Our tuners with Mausoleum of White, and our eggs that search out our dragons that special summon our dragons that get our dragons out. There's our jets that protect our dragons that special summons himself from the graveyard. There is so much recursion going on. You don't have to worry about getting your levels. The levels will always be there. In addition to the levels always being there, this adds a great support to synchro builds for the Blue Eyes deck. Moving on, Maiden of White. It's our new level 1 light tuner. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name, each once per turn. The first, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Place one true light from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up in your spell and trap zone. Why is that so good? Well, True Light special summoning Blue Eyes. Guess what? We can protect our True Light with our Jet Dragon. Moving on, if you special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card. Alright, so let's say we synchro summon. We get Azure Eyes. Azure Eyes comes out. We special summon a Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes comes out. Now we have a level 1 tuner out there. Cool. More extending. Level 3. When a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this card is targeted for an attack, quick effect, you can special summon one Blue Eyes White Dragon, or one level 1 light tuner from your graveyard. What does this mean? It's Maiden with the Eyes of Blue on steroids. Maiden of White hit the gym, started pulling iron, and got 24-inch pythons, brother. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Moving on. Prayers with Eyes of Blue. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name, each once per turn. I think you're seeing a trend. The new cards, not really that limiting. There's a little bit of a limitation. However, the benefits that they give you greatly outweigh the disadvantages. Firstly, discard one card. Add one level 1 light tuner and one spell or trap that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck to your hand, except Prayers with Eyes of Blue. Most cards with effects like these are a -1, meaning you typically lose a card in your hand to search your deck for one. This card is discarding, and it's a net 0. However, that net 0 is selection. You get to choose the spell or trap. You get to choose the level 1 tuner. And what did we just talk about? Maiden of White being on steroids? Yeah, we can just search it with Prayers with Eyes of Blue. And in addition of a spell and trap card. But guess what? We don't need to choose True Light because Maiden of White's already getting it. Okay? Second effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one Blue Eyes White Dragon you control, equip it from your extra deck to... Oh, excuse me. You control equipped one Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck to it as an equipped spell that gives it 400 attack. That just means you can grab a Blue Eyes monster from your extra deck, getting into your graveyard, and then continue with your extending plays. Maybe you bring it back. Maybe you bring it back with the new Monster Reborn spell card that they're going to be printing. And yes, we will be talking about that very soon. But, moving on. Saga the Blue-Eyed Dragon. You can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name per turn, and only once that turn. all hard ones per turn. That's crazy. But, very limited downside. First effect, special summon one Blue Eyes monster from your deck, graveyard, or banishment in defense position. But you can only special summon Blue Eyes White Dragons with this effect if you do not control it. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except dragon monsters. That's not limiting at all. Blue Eyes White Dragon only cares about dragon monsters, and maybe some spellcasters for your tuners, but not really. You only want to be special summoning as many Blue Eyes as possible and getting damage across to your opponent. Maybe protecting your Blue Eyes, making them come back. Protecting them on the field with Jet, protecting them on the field with Spirit, protecting them in the graveyard with the Ultimate. There's just so much protection and recursion going on, you just want to get damage across the board. Secondly, you can banish this card from your graveyard, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material, including a Blue Eyes monster. So not only is this card being used to special summon Blue Eyes monsters from the deck or graveyard or banishment, it's also doubling as a Blue Eyes fusion spell, allowing you to get into Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. If that card isn't that great, it doesn't matter. It's all about the cheese, man. But that's all I got this time. I'm signing off. It's A-Rod Plays. If you enjoyed my content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share it with your buddies. But until next time, peace.